Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. This is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things through a common sense lens. And you know, one of the most beautiful things to think about out there, one of the most beautiful things to watch and witness and document and just laugh at and ridicule is when the ideologues out there eat their own, right? We always say the old joke is, the old adage is, you're never woke enough for the cult, right? We've seen this kind of happen with people like J.K. Rowling, who even though she agrees with 99.9% of the liberal POC, modern progressive ideology, whatever name you want to call it, right? Even though she agrees with 99.9% of them, all it takes is that 1% of disagreeing with what the definition of an actual woman is. Which shout out to the UK Supreme Court for that one just recently. But needless to say, boys and girls, if you don't agree with absolutely everything they do, and if you do one single thing to step out of line, well, of course you're going to get absolutely smashed and hammered. And if you haven't heard of this little movie that came out over the weekend called The King of Kings, it's doing very well at the box office. It's a movie based on the story by Charles Dickens, which is the story of Jesus, of the life of Jesus Christ. Well, with the time being Easter and everything else, this is a perfect time for this movie to come out. And of course, with the state of the world that has been in, so many people are so very happy to see a movie like this come out in the theaters and do so very well. But one of the voice actors for the movie, dear sweet Star Wars' own Mark Hamill, boys and girls, was promoting the movie that he voice acts and stars in. And needless to say, his little acolytes of the cult were not exactly happy that Mark Hamill was promoting a Jesus Christ story, a Christian story, boys and girls. And they absolutely blasted him over at the little echo chamber that is called BlueSky. And like I said, watching the woke eat themselves, watching cult members, those possessed by the spirit of the age, eat themselves is absolutely hilarious, boys and girls. And as a commenter from my Saturday video pointed out, where we talked about the box office of this movie and how well it is absolutely doing, boys and girls, he pointed out the fact that, oh, the delicious irony that Mark Hamill voices Herod after what he tried to convince his son and his girlfriend's son do to their first child, boys and girls. And if you don't know the story of King Herod, well, go see King of Kings. Needless to say, he also had a petition for killing babies as well. So we're going to check out this article from Fandom Pulse, getting all of the juicy details and revel in the glory of watching woke eat woke. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 1,800. We're sailing our way towards 1,900, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Let us know what you think about all of this. Does it surprise you at all that Mark Hamill steps one toe out of line and takes a job and gets paid for it, and then gets paid to promote a Christian, a Jesus Christ story, and gets absolutely lambasted by the members of the cult out there possessed by the spirit of the age with all that demonic influence over their brain? Or did you think maybe, just maybe, he was such an ideologue that they would allow him for this to pass? Well, guess what, boys and girls? That did not happen, but let us think about all that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to become a member and you'd like to get your name and the credits at the end of every single one of these videos out here and support the channel, please check out the links in the description down below. All right, from Fandom Pulse and our dear sweet John F. Trent. Mark Hamill's leftist fans blast him for promoting Christian movie The King of Kings. Because of course they did, boys and girls. And I've heard nothing but good things about this movie. I unfortunately have 6 kids and can't really afford to take my entire family to go see this movie right now. But needless to say, I've heard nothing but good things from all of you guys out there in the comments, and it brings my wonderful little toddler Christian heart a lot of joy to see this movie doing so very well at the box office and completely and totally smashing expectations that all of the trade legacy Hollywood organizations said was going to happen. So Mark Hamill's leftist fans did not take kindly to the act promoting his latest film, the Christian movie The King of Kings, which was made by Mofax Studios and distributed by Angel Studios. Hamill promoted the film, which sees Charles Dickens telling the story of Jesus Christ to his young son. On BlueSky, writing, because of course he's over the BlueSky, remember he left Twitter only to comment like 15 minutes later about something on Twitter. Yeah, needless to say, well, that's for another video. Mark Hamill, over on his official BlueSky account, witnessed the glory of the greatest story ever told, all through the wide eyes and wonder of a small boy and his cat. An amazing cast is an awesome family for children of all ages. The King of Kings is in theater today. Hashtag King of Kings. And honestly, truth be told, the majority of BlueSky probably has no interest in this movie in any way, shape, or form. Don't believe me? It's an echo chamber, boys and girls. And trust me, one of the commenters went over to Mark Hamill's BlueSky account, and holy cow, was he blown away about how insane these people really are. But hey, we've got their comments for you. Don't worry. His followers on social media platform did not take kindly to the promotion. One wrote, "Love you, Mark, but no. Religious nuts are already ruining our country. I prefer your other fantasy work." What, like in Disney Star Wars, where they made him drink green titty milk out of a weird alien on the side of a mountain and throw his lightsaber over his shoulder and be a crouchy old broken down man? That kind of stuff? I'm not still bitter about the Disney Star Wars movies. I promise. I'm lying. "Hey, Mark, where usually with your voice, with your YA? I think he meant VA. With you. Oh, usually with ya. Okay. Hey, Mark, we're usually with ya on your voice acting gigs. But Angel Studios? I mean, have you read about them? These guys are bad news." Oh, yes. The group out there promoting the morality, the ideology, and the religion that literally built Western civilization and allowed it to come into creation in its current form. Right? They're bad news. They're bad news. Yeah. What's the number one rule? The devil lies. That's right. Here's Sally. "I'm a huge fan, Mr. Hamill. You made my childhood a happy place. But I'm going to pass on this one with the current slew of Christian nationalists." Oh, there it is. That's right. It's the crazy Christian nationalists warping Christianity. Lady, I doubt you've opened a Bible in your life more than once unless it was to use it for rolling paper. Let's be completely honest, boys and girls. And demonizing the vulnerable. Oh yes, boys are boys and girls are girls, and boys shouldn't compete against girls in sports and also shouldn't have access to the same changing spaces as them that obviously the United Kingdom's own Supreme Court actually now codified into their official ruling. So yeah, I want no part of religion. Well, like it or not, Sally, you live in the Western civilization, so whether you like it or not, you can get down on your knees and thank God and Christianity for literally everything you have. Others made it clear they would not be going to see the film. Richard Rodriguez says, "Love you, Mark, but no thanks here." Kim said, no. Laura, for the people, responded to Hamill, writing, "As I mentioned in your other post, too many are being othered right now by the rise in Christian nationalism." Oh, that's right, because you acolytes of the cult never tried to other anybody or cancel anyone. Now did you? How about Dan Bongino? How about Officer Tatum? How about having a brain fart with one of our other actors out there that was in theater right now? But like, I don't know, J.K. Rowling, who agrees with you on 99% of things, where literally your cultists out there have came out and called for death threats against her. Like literally that. You're worried about Christians, right? The people that are back, the free speech stuff, the people that hang out on Rumble. Those people are the ones causing other people to be othered? Really? Oh, really? Well, I guess it sucks if it was actually true that the shoe is finally on the other foot. By the rise in Christian nationalism, including my own LGBTQ plus family. Okay, if your entire family is LGBTQ plus, as though once right twice a day like a broken clock, Bill Maher once said, "If I go to a dinner and every person at that table has a transgender kid, there's something wrong with the place I'm living, which is in Los Angeles, which actually happens to him when he goes to dinner with those people. And like he said, that's not happening in Akron, Ohio. You people live in an echo chamber with all of your cult ideologies reinforced in you over and over again. And now you're literally attacking a guy who went to the White House to simp for our dear, sweet, brain-dead Joe Biden, and then to go out there and simp for even the arguably more brain-dead Kamala Harris. Just like the rest of Hollywood, all to have it blow up in their faces, and those evil Christians and those right-wing conservatives, and honestly, all of the common sense folk left out there in the world, you completely and totally lost the election. Not only the Electoral College, but the popular vote as well. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall of all of your breakdowns all across the country and probably globally. It would have been glorious, and I probably would have laughed so much I would have peed myself. Until Christians actually abide by the teachings of Jesus. Which teachings of Jesus were that? The ones where we're not allowed to permit evil and not tolerate it in our sight? Or is the Jesus that went into the temple and whipped the money changers for disrespecting the house of God? Methinks you actually don't know all that much about Christianity, now do you? It's difficult to make a project like this, no matter how much I admire your work. Oh, I can't stand you now that you've stepped one toe out of line. And here's a wonderful one that's been around for a very long time. And the irony of this statement alone is the fact that they cannot see past their own noses. Hard disagree, dear Mark. Religion may cause temporary blindness in small doses. In larger doses, it may cause death and war. Keep away from children. Oh, really? This coming from the ideology that encourages people to mutilate their bodies, and when they agree with your ideology, have a 40% higher rate of removing themselves from the planet than the regular national average. Temporary blindness? Oh, really? Who is more blinded by the cult who won't even talk or engage with the other side without screaming them and shouting them down? Don't believe me? Look at any of the videos out there with a conservative trying to go up and talk to an Antifa member one-on-one. The cult will literally drag you back into their mob and shout down the person that's talking. These people are insane. And these are the people that Mark Hamill has pandered to for years. Talking about how, well, look, Luke might be a little gay. I mean, aren't we all a little gay? And I'm totally okay with being the fourth female. And guess what? All you conservative Trump supporters out there, you can go force yourselves. How's all that pandering working out for you now, Mark? Hard pass. This came out as a preview of seeing the Minecraft movie with my son. Nothing like a 3-minute religious commercial at the movie theater. That's an oof. Oh, yeah, because it's not like we don't get a 3-minute religious commercial based on every one of your woke cult ideologies out there on almost every aspect of our media, in almost every commercial you see on television, and almost every show you've seen produced over the last 5 to 10 years. How do you think that feels? Boy, ain't it nice to have the shoe on the other foot. Am I ever going to get that saying right before this end of the video? Probably not. Sorry, but a religion is the worst thing on earth. You literally worship at the altar of the cult and your modernism. You do what you want with religion, but it's necessary to keep it a secret. You know what? Go force yourself. Finn, go force yourself, Finn. Teaching children about white Jesus, not cool, bro. Well, Jesus was a Jew, and I hate to tell you, Jews don't look like your black Americans or your black African Americans that you talk about. So yeah. Sorry, Mark, love you, but we'll be skipping this. Religion was a shortcut for morality when we didn't have the time to understand the philosophy of reasoned morality. Oh yeah, here it comes. Modernism will save the world, even though you wouldn't be living in a peaceful enough society to even sit around with your thumb up your butt thinking about your modernism ideology and your modernism morality. without Christianity and its teaching of the morality that pretty much the entire world has accepted as right and true. I don't know, pretty basic. Don't steal, don't cheat on your spouse, don't disrespect your parents, don't murder, don't be jealous of your neighbors and what they have. I don't think these are specific rules that are too hard for most reasonable people to get along with. It's the greatest story ever told because it was the only, and this is my best part. Hold on, let's read this as they wrote this, because this just shows you how intelligent and how well thought out this person's comments were. It's the greatest story ever told because there was only only story in book form for hundreds of years. Really? So there was not a single written down story or book before the story of Jesus in the Christian Bible. Well, I guess screw Egypt, screw Mesopotamia, screw Samaria, and all of the rest of those people. This just shows you how stupid these people really are, right? They have no understanding of history. They have no understanding of Christianity. They have no understanding of what the reality of the world is right now, and they're not willing to accept it. And it's driving them insane that one of their acolytes of the cult, the guy that has pushed their agenda probably more than anybody in the most disgusting and simpastic way that we have seen come out of Hollywood in the last decade, is Mark Hamill. And now, because he decided to take a paycheck and promote a Christian movie with Christian values, which is what America is founded on. Don't believe me? Read any of the founders' own words, including Benjamin Franklin. Okay? And you'll find out that the only reason that your BlueSky even exists is because of them crazy Christian nationalists and them crazy Christians out there. So by all means, Mark Hamill, you keep taking whatever roles are going to cover your bills and whatever's going to put a paycheck in your pocket, because you are now getting exactly what you deserve. You decided to embed and be an acolyte for this cult for well over a decade, if not longer, pushing back and making fun of anybody out there that disagreed with you, whether it be a Christian, a conservative, a common sense person, or anybody that just didn't agree with the agenda by a single slight margin. J.K. Rowling, anyone? And now you have found out that no matter how much grace, no matter how much actual goodwill you'd had with the woke cult, it doesn't matter, because now you've stepped one toe out of line and you are getting eviscerated for it. And after all, Mark Hamill, you dance with the devil and you're going to get burned. And the beauty of it is you're getting burned by your own side. And Mark Hamill, after the abysmal, disgusting human being that you truly are, it's exactly what you deserve.